Apollyon's shadow looms large over Heathmoor, the land still locked in war. Yet years following her death, a new warlord emerged to take her place, Astrea. Though Astrea attempts to emulate her predecessor, she's only tarnished Apollion's legacy, risking everything that was built and sowing the seeds of peace instead. Astrea's origins are mostly unknown, emerging only after she founded the Order of Horkos, assembling ex-Blackstone Legion knights and other soldiers of Heathmoor who view her as the reincarnation of Apollyon. Due to this, she quickly garnered the loyalty of these soldiers who wished to continue living in the war-torn world forged by Apollyon. The Order of Horkos seeks to ward off any possibilities of peace, stoking the fires of conflict at every opportunity. Astrea herself wishes to uphold this state of war, seeing herself as the second coming of Apollyon. However, this is far from the truth, as their similarities are merely surface level. Much like Apollyon, Astrea is an extremely talented fighter. She wouldn't be the leader of Horkos if she wasn't. On top of her combat capabilities, she also utilizes a special mineral called draconite, which in its corrupted form can inflict corruption on those who inhale its fumes. This is what's responsible for Warmonger's corruption feats, by the way, if you didn't know that. She also adopts the same ideologies as Apollyon, upholding the survival of the fittest mindset. She models her armor and appearance to resemble that of Apollyon, using the silhouette of Apollyon to instill both fear and loyalty, a reminder of whose legacy she aims to continue. However, this is where their similarities end and Astrea's faults begin to show. Astrea leads the Order of Horkos in a much more authoritarian way than Apollyon led over the Blackstone Legion, putting her personal goals at the forefront of her decisions. Yes, she mainly sought to continue the war that Apollyon started. However, she also seemed to misunderstand what Apollyon's true intentions were. Astrea despised weakness and the sheep so much so that she took her brute force authoritarian methods and used it to wage war on the weak specifically. This line from her reveal supports this.
To shepherd the strong and punish the unworthy.
Punish the weak and shepherd the strong. She doesn't want to bring out the wolves from within the weak. She wants to punish and slaughter the weak while preserving those who are already strong. For an example, Astrea uses her warmongers within the Order of Horkos to spread its influence and power, often terrorizing civilians in the process. This was not Apollyon's intention when sparking the initial war. Apollyon wanted strong warriors to rise from the conflict, regardless of their faction, beliefs, or status. She says as much here about a Viking storehouse.
Master, why this fortress? It looks like it's just a storehouse.
It is. And that's why we're here. These barbarians. They seem like they're good people. They embrace each other like they were all kin. If there are wolves among them, should we not set them free?
By imposing her will on the weak, Astrea sought to gain control and personal power, pushing herself further up the chain rather than challenging the masses to become stronger. Apollyon would have aimed her efforts at continuing to forge stronger warriors through conflict while avoiding becoming a target for the factions to unite against. Astrea's desire for power and her brute force methods put a target on her back and prompted the creation of the rebellion group Chimera. Apollyon would never have risked this. Hell, Apollyon planned and knew that Holding Cross and other members of the Blackstone Legion would turn against her. She wanted that to happen to further her plans for war.
There you are. And what are you doing, Holden? At last. Move!
Astrea cannot plan ahead in this way, and so she resorts to creating an army to force her will on Heathmoor. This is why I believe her "We are war" line is a big deal when comparing it to Apollyon's "I am war" line.
We are all. We are one. We are war.
War. I am war.
Astrea relies heavily on Horkos for her plans, whereas Apollyon never really needed the Blackstone Legion. The creation and over-reliance on Horkos breeds unity in Heathmoor, unifying through both Horkos and Chimera, creating a two-sided war rather than a pure faction free-for-all. One side fighting to keep the war alive, and the other fighting to create peace. This culminates in making the war feel much more black and white, undoing a lot of what Apollyon meticulously crafted. Astrea's authoritarian approach and brute force methods have only served to hurt the world Apollyon crafted, and may have created a path for peace instead. There is one main reason why I believe Astrea has furthered peace more than she has war. As I just mentioned, the creation of Horkos and her methods of leadership directly led to the creation of Chimera, a rebellion group created to fight off the Order of Horkos while striving for peace. Allowing a rebellion group to form is a monumental fuck-up from Astrea. Her ego and failure to properly pull the right strings meant that a rebellion was inevitable. This gave soldiers across factions a reason to unite and fight side by side for a common cause, showing that peace and cooperation is not only possible, but is a form of strength, contradicting the ideals of Apollyon. This is further proven when Chimera, led by former Blackstone lawbringer Holden Cross, now Griffin, gained the upper hand on Astrea in the Order of Horkos. This victory did not lead to immediate peace, but it's a major step forward for those who seek it. Symbolically, this is proof that peace is possible and unifying strength can overpower even the strongest of individuals, putting the ideals of Astrea and Apollyon into question. Without Astrea's authoritarian methods of leading Horkos, Chimera wouldn't have had a reason to form and become an example of the strength created by peace and unity. I understand that on the surface, Astrea created more chaos and prevented peace in the short term, making her successful to some degree. However, this also paved the way for a brighter future in Heathmoor. She may single-handedly be the reason peace is on the horizon. It's for these reasons that I believe Apollyon would have despised Astrea. She's sloppy, power-hungry to some degree, and can't plan past the short term. Astrea was unworthy of calling herself the next Apollyon. She wasn't even close to being her. So like many of us fans, Apollyon too would have hated her, seeing her as nothing more than a pretender who used Apollyon's likeness to garner loyalty and power. However, I want to argue for the writers here. While doing my research for this video, I've noticed a common sentiment that Astrea marked the fall-off of For Honor's lore. I don't necessarily agree with that though. While it's true that post-Astrea lore has been repetitive and lackluster, I won't disagree there, I just don't think that Astrea herself was a poorly written character that marked the fall-off. It feels to me that Astrea was intentionally written to be an unworthy heir to Apollyon, someone who fails to emulate the masterpiece of a villain that they created at the start. I view Astrea's character as a deliberate contrast to Apollyon, as Astrea's shortcomings only serve to highlight Apollyon's brilliance. That even years after Apollyon's death, there are those who wish to emulate her and her ideology, but fail to grasp the minor nuances of what made her so great. I don't think we fans were supposed to like Astrea. She's a tyrannical villain who tries to mimic the greatness of the one before her, the original villain that got us For Honor fans hooked. Astrea served her purpose as a character, to push Heathmoor closer to peace while highlighting the traits that made Apollyon an incredible antagonist. The traits Astrea lacked, the manipulation, the foresight, and the incredible strategic mind. Ultimately, Astrea was never meant to be another Apollyon. She was supposed to be an unworthy successor, highlighting and reminding us of the incredible impact Apollyon has had on the world of For Honor. While Astrea will never be on the same level as Apollyon, or really even a great villain, she's like good at best, I think. I do think she served her purpose for the writers. I really do feel like the writers intended for Astrea to both allow us to look back at just how incredible Apollyon was as a villain, how unique she was, and to hopefully understand Apollyon's view a little bit more. Because, I mean, doing the research for this video, it certainly did help me understand a little bit better. And while at the same time allowing Astrea to carve the path for peace when they one day maybe ultimately decide to wrap up the story and For Honor and give us a good ending of peace. We can look back and say that Astrea was the one responsible, ironically. While she's trying to emulate the great Apollyon who started it all, she really feels like she's the turning point for it. The person who responsible for carving a path for peace while aiming to extend war. It's ironically kind of cool, and I like it. And it makes me appreciate Astrea just a little bit more than I did before. Again, I'm not saying that she's on the same level as Apollyon. She never will be, and she's, again, a good villain, I think. Not great, but good. But again, I think she served her purpose, and she did it pretty well. And I hope you guys are leaving the video thinking the same thing, or at least having a new perspective on Astrea, whether you don't have to like her more or less or whatnot, but just at least leaving with a new perspective and a new way of seeing Astrea. That's the goal of today's video, and I hope you guys walk away feeling that. And this is only my second video essay. I think I'm doing a better job. I'm not this outro is not scripted, if you guys couldn't tell, but I think I'm doing a much better job with it. I still have a lot to work on, but I think I've made some major improvements, and I'm really happy for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and please consider becoming a member. I have a video going over, it's an introduction to my own comic that I'm writing with a friend who he's doing the art for. I'm kind of doing a lot of the ideas and all of the writing and everything like that. So please go check it out. If you guys want to become a member, then that would be greatly appreciated. It would help the channel a ton. But again, you don't have to. If you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe. And for those of you curious about gameplay, I'm going to move that over to the second channel. I want to start aiming, as I enter the groove of this whole video essay thing, I want to start aiming to maybe get one out between 2 and 4 weeks. Every 2 to 4 weeks I'm aiming to get a video essay out. And I think I want to shift my gameplay videos over to the second channel. It'll give a purpose for it, as I for a long time struggled to find out a purpose for that second channel. So second channel will be gameplay and whatever the hell I feel like posting, and over here, if you want to see more video essays, that will be right here on the main channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, appreciate you guys sticking around to the end here. It helps the video a ton. Leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you guys haven't already. It'll be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next one.